If the perfect combination of rest, relaxation, refinement, and rejuvenation appeals to you, along with a fantastic golf experience, you'll want to stick with us for the next few moments as we showcase for you historic, beautiful Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island, America's summer place, unlike anywhere else in the world.
Welcome to Michigan Golf Live Television, shining the spotlight on the best places to stay, play, and enjoy the greatest game on earth. MGL TV is presented by Callaway Golf, Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island, Donald Ross Sportswear, Grand Traverse Resort and Spa, and by the Golf Association of Michigan. Stay connected to Michigan Golf Live 24/7 on Facebook, Twitter, and our YouTube channel. And subscribe for free to our weekly FORE Golfers Network podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Here's your host for MGL TV, Bill Hobson.
Hello friends, I'm Bill Hobson. Welcome into a very special edition of our program, and it's special primarily because of the destination we're featuring. As we've brought the cameras to historic Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island, this special place has a great golf story to tell, but so much other rich history to it, as there's no other hotel, maybe in the world, quite like Grand Hotel. So in the moments ahead, we'll share with you the golf story and the hotel history story, and extend to all of you an invitation to come and experience America's summer place for yourselves. Up first, we're changing out of the suit. We're heading over to the first tee on the Grand Nine as we start talking golf on Mackinac Island. Any thorough overview of golf at Grand Hotel must include my friend Jason Horrocks, the PGA professional who's been here since 1997. It's good to see you again.
Yes.
And here we are on this Grand Nine, the nine that everybody sees when they go up the hill to the hotel. What is this nine like?
Well, it is a unique nine. It's been here over 100 years. So the one thing about this nine, it's kind of like a parkland setting, in my opinion. And like you said, everybody passes by it on the carriage tours on their way up to the hotel and such. It's not very long. You have to be very, very demanding on your tee shots. The fairways are really narrow. So distance off the tee is not a priority. It's more finding the fairway out there.
Yeah, there are no par fives on this nine. There are a lot of potential places to lose your golf ball.
Exactly.
Whether it's the wetlands, whether it's the tall grass, whether it's the trees. So you do have to be accurate.
So accuracy is the key, and especially the fairways are not very wide, but the greens are even smaller out there. And once you get onto the green, you'll find they're a challenge out there.
Smaller greens, a common defense of an older golf course, right? That's not very long.
Yeah. Back when this course was built, they were playing with wooden shafted clubs and got to perch of balls and such. The ball didn't fly very far, and so today with the balls that fly pretty far, you got to find the fairway out there because you can be in real trouble if you don't. So.
Well, the course is in fantastic condition, so let's take everybody on a little tour, starting right on the first tee, where you can get out the driver if you're confident that you won't go too far left or too far right.
You better hit it straight. It's about a 350-yard par 4 downhill. For long hitters, you can drive up next to the green, but you have some really tall, long grass on the left-hand side of the fairway and some bunkers and some cedar trees on the right that can get you in trouble. So, maybe you lay up a little bit on that hole, get it past the pond, of course, and then hit a wedge shot into the green.
When we move over to number 2, I think this is one of the most beautiful holes, not just in northern Michigan, but I think anywhere in the state. If you take the framing of that green, it sort of looks like it might belong in a certain city in Georgia. It's beautiful. It's a recent renovation.
Before that renovation time, it wasn't one of my favorite holes, but it really is now. Our goal, as you play our course, you'll see some fantastic scenery that we have out here. But we really never had that on the second hole, and adding the stream provides a little challenge and a lot of color that we put in the background up on the hillside. It is, our goal is to make it look like that course down in Georgia.
It is beautiful. A new bunker included on the right side, and number 2 is, I think, is contesting with number 7 for the signature hole on this 9. We'll get to number 7 here in just a few minutes. The third hole, I don't know why, I can't hit the green. It's a par 3, it's uphill, it's got moderate length, I think it's 170-ish. And for my entire life on this island, I have missed that green. What's the challenge on 3?
our course is so short, but some of our hardest holes on the front nine are our par threes. And number 3 is deceiving. It's going uphill. It's got a false part of the green, which I tend to find a lot. And you think you've hit the green, and when you walk up to the green, your ball is maybe 30 yards in the fairway as it rolled off. So you might have to chip up and get it up on the green and pay attention to where that waterfall is flowing off the backside of the green. That'll give you an idea how to read that putt.
When we step up on the tee box of number 5, it's really a tempting tee shot. You can play it with a couple of irons. It's not terribly long, but it's also reachable. So this is a really cool risk-reward par 4.
It is, from the upper tee, the ball carries a little bit more. You have to hit it over the pond there on the right, and it is really drivable par 4 for a lot of people. But you can reach it in 2 8-irons as well, so it's only about 300 yards away. And an eagle is definitely a good possibility if you hit the driver straight.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful setting. Speaking of beautiful settings, we move over to number 7, which is the signature hole, which is probably the most famous hole, maybe in northern Michigan, certainly on the island, with views that go forever.
Right, number 7, 245-yard par 3, going down the hill, and added the fact that the green is surrounded by water. So I find it hard to find a hole that rivals the scenery that we have. So it is one of the most scenic holes that we have here in Michigan, and it's a tough par 3. So par is definitely a good score. Laying up short is my advice.
Yeah, take a 3 on 7 and run for number 8. That's for sure. Speaking of number 8, we get up to that green complex. That's a challenge. I mean, it is multi-levels, tiered. Today the hole was in the back right location.
2-tiered green, and the swale in the middle is very difficult. And Jerry Matthews came to our island in the mid-'80s and redesigned the golf course. And I still don't know what he's thinking about when he redesigned the 8th hole. But it does make that hole very interesting to play.
When we step onto number 9, the finishing hole here on the Grand 9, Jason unleashed one of the longest drives I've ever seen him hit, and he hit some long drives all the way up to the base of the green. But for us mere mortals, what's the play off the tee, besides keeping it out of the road and not harming pedestrians?
Well, number 9 is a classic example of learning how to play on the PGA Tour. Most courses you play, you don't have that gallery kind of pressure, and on the left side we have the road that takes you up to the Grand Hotel. So there's hundreds of people that walk by the number 9 every day, and that puts a lot of pressure on somebody, especially if you slice the golf ball. You're going to be aiming over in that direction. If you hit it straight, you're going to be in trouble. But it is a pretty basic straightaway par 4. All you have to do is hit it straight down the fairway and chip up and make your birdie putt.
Or lip out for eagle.
Or lip out for eagle.
Jason. We are just getting started with this special look at beautiful, historic Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island. There's more golf straight ahead, but as you have already seen, there is so much more to this special place than just golf. In fact, there's something here for the entire family, and we'll explore that part of the Grand Hotel story when we return. Everywhere you look on Mackinac Island, the scenery is absolutely stunning. And for thousands upon thousands of guests, The first thing that catches the eye as you come across on the ferry sits atop the West Bluff. That would be Grand Hotel. And there's no way to tell the story of Grand Hotel unless you visit with the man who knows it better than anyone else on the planet. So now let's visit with historian Bob Taggets. The Grand Hotel experience is
not one thing. It's not one thing, it's everything. It's the uniqueness of coming here on a boat, a little town that time forgot, coming up to a hotel that's got modern amenities but still a dress code and afternoon tea. There's no one thing, it's a total experience.
You've been here long enough to see a bunch of first-time guests step into the parlor for the first time. What is the look on the face? What's the reaction of someone who's, for the first time ever, experiencing Grand Hotel?
Who picked these colors and what were they drinking at the time? No. No, the oh wow factor is what it's all about. You know, we're an historic hotel, but we don't represent a single period. We're a bunch of periods all put together in kind of an eclectic, fun, but a movable mix. You know, my words are this: we're elegant, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. It really is a rare place in the world. You know, we were built 134 years ago for an elite class of people, the children of the Industrial Revolution, the first leisure class we had, and they never really were intended to last. In 1904, there was over 1,200 large wood frame hotels, 2/3 of which were built by transportation companies, as were we, a railroad and a steamship. And in the world today of the big ones, there's just 11 left, so it's a rare place indeed.
Are families still coming and making those memories, the same memories they made back in 1920?
Yeah, they're new memories, different memories, flexible memories, changing as the world changes, but still memories. I literally have hundreds of fourth generation guests, and in 2018 and 2019, I had my very first fifth generation guest coming to Grand Hotel. I attended a wedding right down here in the Tea Garden about 14 years ago where a young lady got married on the same spot her great grandmother got married.
It's an experience that can't be replicated, and at the same time, there are updates constantly being made, including where we're currently seated. This Esther Williams pool has undergone a dramatic facelift. Walk us through this project, what it used to be and what it is now.
Our pool, let me tell you, we built this pool in 1920, and very few, we opened in 21, but so it's our 100th anniversary this year, but very few hotels had pools at the time. In researching for the opening of this pool, I found some articles written in Michigan papers that made fun of us for building a pool. There's one from Iron River Post that said, 1,000 barrels of concrete have been sent to Mackinac Island to build a pool for its wealthy guests of Grand Hotel in case the Great Lakes runs dry. Nobody built a pool 45 feet from a lake. Nobody did that. So we built our pool. We're shameless promoters. When we built it, the same company built one in Traverse City, shaped kind of like a footprint. So that's what we called it for years, was Paul Bunyan's footprint, that he stepped in Traverse City, stepped here. Oh, it's hilarious. In early ads, it said, your children can swim in the actual footprint of Paul Bunyan. Being shameless promoters, the film This Time for Keeps made this hotel famous, and it made this pool famous, and we immediately renamed it after Esther Williams, who starred in the film, and it's been that way ever since. And this is the new version of the Esther Williams pool.
Where does it go from here? How does this experience get even better?
Well, you always say that, but it never ends. You know, I say it all the time, it's that balance. It's the balance of offering the modern amenities, upgrades, for the pool, adding amenities for guests at the hotel, changing with the times, servicing larger groups of people at all time, but never forgetting who you are and where you came from and what makes you special. You know, we don't sell rooms and food here. We sell a summer memory, a summer experience. And again, it's not one thing, it's everything.
You know, for me, it's history. It's seeing something new every day, whether it's a different view off the porch, whether it's talking to someone who's been here for generations. Their grandfather brought them for the first time. Being around since 1887, you know, we have 135 years under our belt. And it's just, you know, when its grandfather brings, you know, their kids, you know, when its father brought their son, either when they're tagging along for a conference or they're there for the annual summer pilgrimage to Mackinac Island, you know, that's the memory they keep. And so they want to pass that on. So they may have not traveled for 20 years, but yet they want to bring their grandchildren back to a special place and time. And nothing special, more special than grand, but then put Mackinac Island with, you know, no automobiles and no motorized vehicles driving around. It's horse and carriage. It's just absolutely fantastic.
How does golf fit into the guest experience here?
So I think it is an experience. I think whether you bring your own clubs or you rent our clubs here, it's seeing the island in a different light, also enjoying the game of golf. But golf is also about being in nature and being out on the course. You know, you might be a 25 handicap or you might be, you know, a 2, but you're going to see the island in a different view, a different lens. more of a natural lens, less buildings to obstruct, or it's more of the landscape, the natural landscape of the resort, of the island. And then you finish the front nine, and you get to take a special carriage ride, unlike any other.
Every aspect of your time at Grand Hotel is designed with excellence in mind. That goes for the golf course, it goes for your rooms, and it certainly applies to the restaurants. So whether you're having dinner at the Woods, or perhaps dining in the main dining room, or if you've sat down for dinner in my favorite restaurant, the Jockey Club, where we have the Jockey Club burger, the ribeye cap steak, the s'mores dessert, and the list goes on and on. All of these restaurants come together to present to you an unforgettable dining experience. You'll hear a little bit of a fan sound in the background because we are in a very special climate-controlled part of Grand Hotel. It's the wine cellar, and the 8th female master sommelier in the world is our guest, Elizabeth Schweitzer. And boy, this is such a really cool setting. I know nothing about wine whatsoever. Bring us into your world. What makes a perfect meal at Grand Hotel complete?
The perfect meal at Grand Hotel is always complete with wine.
And you know everything there is to know about it. So
I absolutely do not. The joy and excitement of my job is I never know everything. So there's always this learning curve, there's always a new vintage, there's always the wine has been sitting for 2 years, it tastes totally different than it did 2 years ago, so I don't know everything. That's the exciting part about it. You never play a perfect golf game.
all right, now I can relate to that.
Yes,
That's a very good context you put
right.
it in. I also know that guests can choose from a bottle of wine that is a few dollars up to a few $1,000s. How do you make the right decision in that scale?
There's a little psychological greeting you have, and you try to figure out what the guest wants. Are they traveling with their kids? Are they saved up their whole life to come here? Is it a bucket list? Do they come every year for 30 years? Are they celebrating an anniversary? And then you try to figure out where they want to go with it. I am so proud that I have over 500 wines on the list, and there's something for everyone. So a $30 bottle of sparkling can change the whole evening, and so can a $600 bottle of sparkling. So that's sort of the great joy I find to complete everyone's meal.
You have worked at some of the most famous upscale properties really in the world.
Yeah.
What's special about a Grand Hotel visit?
There's a little magic here that I have never found anywhere else.
One of our goals in this special today is to showcase for you every facet of Grand Hotel, including some of those areas you might not be as familiar with, or perhaps a unique way to reward yourself for a fantastic performance on the golf course. Might I recommend a gigantic sundae or some sort of ice cream treat from Sadie's? Now don't worry, because we do have your fitness in mind. Not only do we want you to indulge in the ice cream, but when you're done, if you feel so inclined, you can visit the brand new fitness center located down by the brand new pool complex, or maybe rent a bike and make your way around beautiful Mackinac Island. Whatever the case may be, make sure that you take your time to explore the hotel and all of its unique experiences. And when we return, we'll continue exploring the golf experience at Grand Hotel as we head to the Woods 9 after this. Welcome back to our very special look at golf and memory-making fun at historic Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island. In just a moment, we're going to take you to the final 9 holes known as the Woods 9. But first, there are so many awesome areas to explore at Grand Hotel. Some of them are very obvious, and some of them are going to require a little bit of diligent homework to discover. For instance, the stunning secret garden nestled away just off to the side of the tea garden. That's something for you to keep in mind when you make your next trip here. And now, let's go play a little bit more golf. Earlier in the program, you met the head golf professional here at Grand Hotel, Jason Horrocks, and he rejoins me as we move to the back 9, or the Woods 9. And Jason, every journey to the woods starts in a very unique way.
It really does. Mackinac Island's a special place. We have some great scenery, and one thing special about it is there's no cars allowed on the island, so you can't drive the golf cart from hole number 9 to hole number 10 up here at the woods. So there's a unique way to get here by horse and carriage, a little tour of the island while you're playing golf.
Yeah, you don't get to experience that anywhere else on earth that I'm aware of.
We're the only ones that we know of anyways.
And it brings you right up to the woods where there's a wonderful restaurant, and then you can step right out onto the 10th or the first tee if you want to consider the woods its own 9. And let's talk about the flow of this course that dates back to...
It opened in 1994. It was a Jerry Matthews design. So he redesigned the Grand 9 and then was brought back to design the woods course here.
Yeah, and this is set up near the top of the island, near the airport. And for many people watching, they didn't even know there was an airport or a top of the island.
Right.
It's a very different experience than playing on the Grand 9.
Really is. The two 9s, they're about 90 years difference in age. And being on separate parts of the island, they have a unique feel to them. We do call it the Woods 9 for a reason. We have plenty of trees on the golf course, very northern Michigan type feel where most of the holes are tree lined, and you have to hit the ball straight out there.
Right off of number 10, you instantly realize that there are some really good views on this Woods 9. And by the way, it's not an easy 9 holes to play.
You know, the fairways are a little wider back here, so you have a little bit more room to spray the ball off the tee, but if you spray it too much, you're in the woods, you're going to have a hard time finding that ball. So it's a little bit longer course, but the greens are bigger, have a little bit more room to fire at the pin out here on the back 9. They're a little less undulated here on the back, so the short game is a little easier in my opinion. So it's a fun place to play golf. It's a very peaceful part of the island, and got some great scenery here on the back.
You learn right away here on the Woods 9 that moving your ball left to right, right to left is important. You know, on 10 you have to go left to right, on 11 right to left. Exactly,
and there's a lot of holes here where hitting a driver might not be the smart play because of that. I don't shape the ball left to right very well, so that tree on the 10th hole is very fun, a challenge to get over and find the fairway. And then on 11 you have to hit the opposite shot around the corner dogleg there to the left. And so you have to get it to the dogleg on 11 or you're in trouble for your second shot.
You and I are standing right now on the beautiful par 3 12th hole, and this is one of those get out the camera shots. And from the back tees, it's also probably take a head cover off of something to try to reach this green.
Especially with the wind is a factor on this hole, and 205 yards from that blue tee on the upper tee there, and it's all carry to get to the green over that pond behind us. And
short's not good.
So short's not good, and it's one of my favorite holes here on the golf course.
Well, it's just stunning, and you have a little waterfall or stream coming down the left side, and of course the wetlands in the front. Those beautiful wetlands that are in front of 12 continue over in front of 13T, and the instinct might be to reach for your driver. That's not what you really want to do on 13.
Right, there's out in the distance there's several outcroppings out there in the fairway, so if you hit that straight shot or right to left shot, your ball could be in the tall grass or in the rocks there. So hitting a hybrid off the tee might be a smart decision with a little wedge shot into your second shot into the green.
Up until this point on the Woods 9, length hasn't really been an issue, and then we step on to number 15,
right,
which is every bit of 550-ish yards of a par 5.
Especially on 15 from the blue tees, you have to shape your shot again, right to left, and if you do find the perfect fairway shot, you might be able to go for that green in 2, but it requires a almost perfect second shot because of the green being elevated there. So 15 is really a 3-shot par 5.
To a very elevated and somewhat demanding green.
Very undulating green with 3 different tiers, so even if you hit the green in regulation, par is not a guaranteed score.
16 is definitely driver, long par 4, relatively straight, but it goes down into a valley and back up again, and we start to feel more of the effects of the wind because we've come out from the tightness of the tree-lined holes.
Right, it's almost like a wind tunnel coming through up the hill on 16, and your drive is very important to get it down in that valley, and from there you got about 150-yard approach shot into the green, and surrounded by a little sand there on the left and a little undulated green on number 16 as well.
You have a 150-yard shot in. I had 183, and it took everything I could muster to get there. And then we move over to the airport hole, number 17. If you've ever wondered what aviation looks like up close, 17's where to set up shop.
The Mackinac Bridge is off in the distance, so you get some stunning scenery there. And but because of that, wind is also a factor. And I think when we played today, we were a little into the wind, and so the right club decision is important on that hole.
The home hole, number 18, beautiful setting. Green protected by a pond. This is a good driver opportunity, but placement of the tee shot is key.
You want to be on the left side of the fairway on 18 and out there quite a ways. But if you're on the right-hand side of the fairway, there's some trees that you really would have to shape your shot around the pond, and it's a very narrow green, 18. So 18 is very demanding. It's a great finishing hole.
Jerry Matthews, his fingerprints are all over the state of Michigan's golf scene. But what he did up here, I think, is underappreciated. This is a great 9 holes.
He's done so many courses around Michigan. I've known Jerry a long time, and every time he talks about the Woods Golf Course up here, it brings a smile to his face, and he did a good job up here.
What is the uniqueness of Grand Hotel from the pure Michigan experience standpoint?
Grand Hotel, I always describe Grand Hotel as kind of like the jewel in the crown of the travel industry for Michigan, because this really is a special place on a special place. It's such a unique place. So if you were to think of that place that really represents all that you would hope your leisure travel experience would be, it would be right here at Grand Hotel. Because you can do everything you want, from kind of the fun of the island, you can do that all from Grand Hotel, to just doing what we're doing here today. Sitting back, enjoying the breezes of the Straits of Mackinac on a beautiful summer day. That's the Grand Hotel experience.
It really is the perfect combination of rest, relaxation, and refinement when you take a trip to Grand Hotel. Bring your golf clubs, bring the whole family, bring your camera, and get ready for a lifetime of memories that really is unparalleled anywhere, not only in America, but I think anywhere in the world. Now, my friends Rock and Roll and my buddy Zach here have us in good hands as we bring a close to the show today. And I'd love for you to meet them as well as the entire wonderful staff and this unbeatable experience. So go online to grandhotel.com, book your tee time, book your room, and book an experience of a lifetime at this very special place.